This is my PowerPoint on repeat photography. Alright, so how it's used. Um, so repeat photography is photographing the same spot at different times, over the years or after several years. With the repeat photography, you can see like the history or the environment, the culture, human environment relationship, changing over time. What's going on over this time period. Like you can kind of see what happens um, if it's taken uh, more than once. You can kind of see how it's changing. But if it's more spread out, then you can't really see that middle ground. So you can see the changing environment. You can see how the environment has changed over this time, and how the culture has changed, and how the humans and the environment's relationship has changed. How they're affecting the landscape and everything like that. Now the advantages of this. There are several advantages. You you can really you can see all these other points that I mentioned before, like the history and environment, culture, human environment relationship. You can see all these change. You can see the change as a whole. You can see it all at once in one two pictures really. You can see how these things have changed. You can actually see these changes instead of just reading about them. You can actually see these things in this picture. You can see small changes and big changes. Like plants or vegetation, like how they have changed. You can give you good context of what an area is like if done right, and give you a good overview and view of this landscape and this place that you're looking at. Now some disadvantages. There are a few of these disadvantages. If you're taking a picture of this one area, you can't get a full scope of what this area is like. Or if you're only taking pictures in a small area, like on this map here, it's not you can't really completely say what Honduras would be like just by looking at these repeat photography places, because it's not the entirety of Honduras. But that's kind of a large scale thing that's not easy to do. Can't really get a full picture of a landscape, or well, not of a landscape, but of an area, in the view, what you're seeing can be changed by the photographer. In the reading, brought up power lines and billboards. They could easily just move their camera to the right a little bit, so you can't see these about a billboard or power line, to make these areas seem more pristine. Like in these photos here, you have the original, then you have this one that's taken from a different angle, and you can't see this this litter on the ground. The photographer can easily just affect what you see. they're hard to measure, so you can't really see. They're hard to measure on like a map or any other geographic uh, landscaping thing, and they can't show everything that has happened over this time. Just so it's hard to get a full scope of really what's going on in these areas just from like a couple pictures. If you want, like, but they, obviously these things can be helped, taking a lot of pictures in different areas, or over time you can piece things together a lot easier than just having to guess what happens in between two pictures if there's more than one picture taken over time.